Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know. I'm not gonna rule that out. I do want to do voiceover work. That's something that
See?
that's something that I have been neglecting super hard. But that might be something that I set a new intention for. Now that I'm a little more focused in what I'm doing,
Yeah.
I'd like to create a demo and maybe just try to get a couple voiceover gigs here and there. Because I want to be in video games. I think it'd be so fun to be like a protagonist or some villain.
That'd be
or
some cool shit.
Yeah, I'd love to play a villain. Because like I'm not an evil guy in real life, so it's fun to play the evil guy.
You want to get that shit out, man. It's the shit you think of, the horrible shit we think of as humans.
Yes.
You want to get it out some way, somehow.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Carl Jung's shadow?
No.
So the concept of the shadow is that everybody has a shadow, right? Anybody who has light is casting a shadow. And that shadow is a useful part of your personality. It's a useful part of who you are, and it is inseparable from you. The same way that, the yin and the yang.
Is it like an alter ego in a sense?
Kind of. I mean, it's just
but not the ego being the ego of but there being
it's like the dark side. It's like the
yeah.
dark side of you. But you can actually take the shadow and you can use it for your advantage. That doesn't mean you indulge it and you give in to its desires. But what you do is you take its energy and you redirect it. And
that's every good, there's a bad.
Yeah. But there's some like really good things about some of the bad parts of us that you can use to work to your advantage, and you can make it work for you rather than against you. Because if you're constantly fighting your shadow, you're fighting yourself. It's not. It's a hard thing. There's a lot of nuance and comes with dealing with the shadow, because obviously it doesn't mean give in to your desires of doing the shitty thing, but knowing that there are some darker aspects to our personality that you can tap into. You can use that power. You just have to learn how to use it where it like satisfies it while also not is self-destructive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, when they give into the shadow, they give into the self-destructive aspects of it, and that can be very dangerous.
Go down that rabbit hole and get addictive. It could be addictive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would argue that some of our biggest addictions are part of the shadow. But finding a way to quell the shadow while not trying to suppress it, because suppressing it is going to go the opposite direction. It's going to push back even harder, like Newton's laws, right?
We focus a lot on balance, man. That's all of our conversations, I think. The baseline of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the baseline of
life,
reality, life, everything is balance, right? How do you find balance?
Who knows?
Right?
It's different for everybody.
How do you specifically find it? Because I think people can learn from different strategies. I think they've heard my balance. I talk I talk enough on this podcast. But yeah, what's like your way of finding balance in yourself, whether it's activities you do or ways that you kind of keep yourself grounded?
Yeah, for sure. So I try to find balance in, first, some silence. Give me some silence so I can kind of gather myself, my thoughts, know that I'm going to attack some things, know that I may not get to some things, just come to grips with that, and then start just going. Not do whatever, but then I can release myself, if that makes any sense. And then from there, I always try to make sure if there's 24 hours in a day that I have at least 3 to 4 to myself, that I'm doing what I want to do that makes me happy, so that I don't look back and be like, damn, I did this for her, I did this for him, I did this for them. Where was me? Where do I fit into the picture? This is my life, so I should get something done. So I think it's important to take time for yourself, whatever it is. I don't care if you spend an hour to read, an hour to spend with the favorite person you want to be with, an hour to go eat the favorite shit you want to do. I don't care. Just make sure you're happy doing it. And that's what I do. So that's really been good for me as a baseline. And just other than that, just being happy, man. Just some people really get caught up in the bullshit of life. And it takes them down, man. Don't get caught up in that shit. It's not going to be there forever. Your life won't be here forever. That shitty situation won't be here forever. So you got to figure it out. Just either accept it, change it, or move on.
Dude, 100%. And if you don't give that time, guess what builds up? Resentment.
Yeah.
Anger.
And then you become, then that shadow starts to tap you on the shoulder like, hey, let's go fuck this shit up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where then the self-destruction comes in. And if you don't take that time for yourself and you don't unplug, and nowadays we don't ever unplug because our devices are constantly stimulating us. It's like, oh, I can't meditate because my thoughts are always too active. It's like, yeah, because you never got off your phone
but it's
all
intent.
day.
You have to be intent.
It's got to be a conscious decision to unplug. Yeah. It can't just be I unplugged because my phone died. It's got to be like, no, I unplugged because I specifically set my phone aside. I put it on Do Not Disturb. And I just wanted some time for myself. Like you said, whether it's reading or writing or drawing or playing a sport, exercising.
A video game, don't care. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what the activity is. It just has to be a conscious unplugging. And TV is probably the only one that doesn't count. It's the only one that doesn't count.
For
It's
some
not
people,
unplugging.
it does.
It's not unplugging.
I get you.
Scientifically,
Yeah.
it's proven that it's not unplugging. And I read that in The Rise of Superman, which is by Stephen Kotler. I've talked about this book before. I talked about flow states before. And the only thing that will not allow you to take your mind off the problem, that's one of the steps in the flow cycle, is television. And it's because it alters your brain waves. So when you're watching television, it syncs it, and I don't remember which waves. It's been too long since I read the book. But it puts it in a certain brainwave state that is not actually unplugging from the problem. So I feel you. People can totally watch television. I'm not saying don't watch television.
They'll zone out. Let's just say they'll zone out.
It's zoning out, and it's not a conscious unplugging.
Yeah.
So there is a difference. By all means, watch TV. I watch TV too. I watch Game of Thrones. I watch all these other shows. Like, I do it too. But I also then have conscious time that I'm not doing those things.